Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I got a couple things I want to talk to y'all about today, mostly executive orders that Trump has signed off on here in the last couple of hours that involve good things for the country. I'm talking about fixing the election process and exposing the whole Crossfire hurricane, all information involved. And I also heard, on another note, that the FBI or Cash Patel is now in possession of thousands of terabytes of information uh, from the Epstein files. I have to assume that has to be video footage or audio footage, something of that nature, for it to be terabytes of information. But hopefully, we'll get some answers to that stuff as well pretty quick. I'm holding my breath on that one. All right, folks, let's get into it. This is great news, every bit of it. Good stuff. Gonna make the video kind of short today, folks, in theory. It says breaking news: President Trump just signed an executive order to secure our elections. Proof of citizenship to vote. Funds tied to integrity compliance, meaning that our federal government will pay to make sure that we have people in places in every state to do the right thing when it comes to making sure the machines are run right, that there's people on site to actually watch the watchers, things of that nature. More boots on the ground, federally funded. I'm okay with that as long as they're there to uh, make sure things are run properly. Paper ballots, no more machines. That would be the awesome way to go. AG, Attorney General, to track election fraud. That's the best one for me. Crack down on late ballots. Make laws and rules in every state to where you can't receive ballots 2, 3, 4 days post dated after the election and it still count. We're going to change all that on a federal level, and the states will be forced to comply. I believe that's how that works. And the last one was axes Biden's voter turnout executive order. Now Biden signed an executive order for voter turnout. It allocated a bunch of money into pumping these NGOs to ballot harvest and do all kinds of nefarious things to add the votes. Well, that is all said and done out of there, folks. Now check this out. I'm going to go ahead and play the. Actually, I'll play the next clip instead. A little longer clip here.
Lastly, sir, we have an executive order for your attention on the very important subject of election integrity. We believe that this executive order is the farthest reaching executive action taken in the history of the Republic to secure our elections. Among numerous other aspects of this executive order, this is going to cut down on illegal immigrants on the voter rolls, ensure that the Department of Homeland Security and the data that they have available is being fully weaponized to ensure that illegal immigrants aren't voting. This will include a citizenship question on the federal voting form for the first time. This executive order instructs the EAC to cut federal funding to states that don't take reasonable steps to secure their election. This calls on the Department of Justice to vigorously prosecute election crimes, particularly in states that we don't believe are in compliance with federal law around.
Did y'all catch that? Going to have the Attorney General go to make sure that the states that are not in compliance with voter integrity regulations and rules will be on them like a duck on a June bug. And let me back it up. This is a good one, too. This is the best one for me, folks.
To secure their election. This calls on the Department of Justice to vigorously prosecute election crimes, particularly in states that we don't believe are in compliance.
Nope, didn't back up far enough. Let me back up a little bit further. Here we go. This is the good part, folks.
This calls on the Department of Justice to vigorously prosecute election crimes, particularly in states.
Back it up again, folks. Here we go.
A citizenship question on the federal voting form for the first time.
There it is.
This executive order instructs the EAC to cut federal funding to states that don't take reasonable steps to secure their election.
So if the states want to act a fool like California, New York, Minnesota, Michigan, states don't want to comply, they just lose their federal funding. That will be the game changer, folks. instead of them getting money to run their elections, they will be having to try to figure out what they're going to do to run their state. They're going to lose federal funding if they don't comply, kind of like Trump was doing over the illegal immigration issue. If you don't comply, you lose your funds. That's the good stuff, folks. I am glad to hear it. That is a win-win.
I could go on and on for a while, sir, but the compliance with national election day rules, cracking down and investigating and prosecuting foreign interference in our elections, revoking President Biden's Executive Order 14019, which essentially weaponized government to corrupt and pollute our election process. There's a lot in here, but we believe that these are very important steps that we need to be taking as an administration at your direction to ensure that our elections are as secure as they possibly can be.
Okay, you all understand that? Yes.
Yes.
Election fraud, you've heard the term. We'll end it, hopefully. At least this will go a long way toward ending it. There are other steps that we will be taking in the coming weeks, and we think we'll be able to end up getting fair elections. Perhaps some people think I shouldn't be complaining because we won in a landslide, but we got to straighten out our election. This country is so sick because of the election, the fake elections and the bad elections. We're
Yep.
going to straighten it out one way or the other.
Sign that executive order, Trump. Get it done. Now, there is a voting bill, a voter integrity bill that is in the House. I believe it was passed in the House and was sent over to the Senate and was never picked up because Chuck Schumer was running the Senate at the time. And so now I'm curious as to how come we haven't heard anything about that. Will that be in the next spending package bill that's coming up here in the next couple of months? I don't know. We'll see. Now, this is a little bit different, but this lady's praising Doge for what has happened at her particular job. It says here, Secretary Brooke Rollins at the cabinet meeting talks about the spending her department has canceled to date thanks to Elon and the Doge. And she works for the Department of Agriculture. Listen to what they spend the money on, or Biden spent the money on at the Department of Agriculture. It's sickening, folks. Listen here.
Well, let me just add to that, and thank you. We just had a wonderful cabinet meeting, all aligned on certainly the effort to realign the government. But even at the U.S. Department of Agriculture, we've canceled a $300,000 contract educating on food justice for queer and transgender farmers in San Francisco. A similar contract we canceled in New York, again, educating transgender and queer farmers on food justice and food equality. I'm not even sure what that means, but apparently the last administration wanted to put our taxpayer dollars towards that. We canceled a $600,000 contract out of Louisiana that was studying the menstrual cycles of transgender men, a $600,000 contract. We canceled another contract out of a university in the middle of the country that focused on getting more diversity, equity, and inclusion into our pest management industry. Again, these are nonsensical. It makes zero sense to use taxpayer dollars to fund these.
No.
I know these are just a few examples of the hundreds and hundreds that we have found.
So they want your pest control guy to be some blue-haired chick with jewelry in her face who identifies as a rodent or something. Who knows? It's crazy, folks, what this world's coming to. The Department of Agriculture was DEIing the crap out of the farmers and everything involved with farming. I don't even know if there are any gay farmers. If there are, prove it. I've never seen a gay farmer. Most farmers I know are pretty hardworking people, pretty morally sound. I can't picture a freak show farmer. I just really can't. Not to say all gays are freak shows, but I don't know. I guess there are some trans farmers out there as well. It's got to be. Now, this here is another great take. This is Mike Johnson, hopefully threatening. It sounds like a threat to me, but hopefully threatening with the power of the purse in Congress to do something about these rogue, shitty ass judges. Now, here we go. It says, Speaker Mike Johnson issued an open threat, not saying that Congress has the authority Congress has the authority to stop providing funding to federal courts. Now, here we go. Now, he's saying it out loud, but is he saying to these judges directly? Let's find out.
Getting pretty ugly. House Speaker Mike Johnson issuing an open threat now, saying that Congress has authority to stop providing funding to federal courts. Listen to what the Speaker said just a little while ago.
We do have authority over the federal courts, as you know. We can eliminate an entire district court. We have power funding over the courts and all these other things. But desperate times call for desperate measures, and Congress is going to act. So stay tuned for that.
Oh, Congress is going to act.
All right, Jay, let's get right to it. This is all centered around the Alien Enemies Act and whether deportations fall under the president's Article 2 powers. So what's the reaction in Congress now to what the Speaker just said today?
Well, there are Republicans up here on the Hill, Kira, who want Johnson, frankly, to go further and support impeaching judges who politically have shown that they, or not politically rather, but legally show that they disagree with the administration. The accusation from the administration is that these judges are acting politically, but these judges...
Yeah, you had it right the first time, politically shown.
And other judges all the way up to the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court have said that these judges are acting within their constitutionally appropriate powers of passing judgment upon what the executive branch does and either delaying it from going into effect with restraining orders and things of the like. But what Republicans here on Capitol Hill have done is that they want to impeach those judges that they believe are impeding the president's will and action here. Johnson has not supported that publicly. This is as far as he's gone, saying that Congress has the power of the purse. They can control what districts are allocated in which way, the funding and how these district courts are drawn and things of that nature. So this is some of the administration wants Johnson to do to try to set up this clash between Congress, the executive branch, and the courts. But he's not going as far as some Republicans, including Elon Musk, by the way, have pushed for, which is this swift impeachment of various judges that this administration views as a problem, Kira.
The problem with impeachment, folks, is it is hard to get to impeachment. To impeach a judge, it takes 2/3 of the Senate, which is like 66, 67 people. Never going to get there. Never going to happen in a million years. So impeachment is dead on arrival when it comes to these judges. If it takes a vote in Congress to go through both chambers, it's not going to work. So I believe the right answer is to defund them. I'm surprised Mike Johnson hasn't already decided to defund them, to show every court in the land that they'll have to work for free if they want to be shitty with our constitutional rights. You can always transfer judges to another court, somewhere where they're less relevant. There's a lot of things they could do. Here's another great executive order that happened today. It says, breaking President Trump is declassifying the FBI files related to Crossfire hurricane. And that was the whole Russia collusion hoax, the spying on, well, actually, before the Russia collusion hoax, it was the spying on Trump's campaign, including Kash Patel and Devin Nunes and Trump's family, pretty much Trump's entire first cabinet. General Flynn, Paul Manafort were either prosecuted, investigated, spied on. They tried to get them all. They tried to break up Trump's team the minute he got in office. And there's a lot of details to the Crossfire hurricane. Kash Patel has got all the details about that if you ever want to go down that rabbit hole. And we've discussed it here several times. But this was a total weaponization of government. They were out to get Trump. They did everything they knew how to impeach him, to lock him up, to kick him off the ballot, to kill him. They did everything they knew how from the minute that he stepped into office. It started with, even before he got there, spying on his friends and his confidants that he was supposed to be running the government with. Here we go. A little short video clip here.
A presidential memorandum for your attention. This memorandum requires the immediate declassification of all FBI files relating to the Crossfire hurricane investigation. This was obviously one of the instances instances of the weaponization of law enforcement powers of prosecution against you and others. We believe that it's long past time for the American people to have a full and complete understanding of what exactly is in those files.
Which gives the media the right to go in and check it. You probably won't bother because you're not going to like what you see. But this was total weaponization. It's a disgrace. Should never happen in this country. But now you'll be able to see for yourselves, all declassified.
You realize this is going to tell us that Joe Biden pushed for the Pfizer warrant, Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton were all in the room, Chuck Schumer were all in the room, and they all decided they were going to get Trump, and this is how they were going to do it. This is going to prove within a shadow of a doubt that they didn't just hate Trump, but they've been maliciously trying to take Trump out since day one. Evil people run the country.
Is that correct? Would
Yes,
you
sir.
say? All declassified?
Yes, sir.
Everything?
The FBI file with there's a classified annex, but other than that, this we'll put everything in the public eye.
Good job.
Is anybody going to look? Huh? What about you? You going to look?
Oh, a lot of these podcasters and citizen journalists on Twitter will be hashing through that stuff as of immediately. And here within the next couple of days, we'll be finding out a little bit more about Barack Obama and probably Joe Biden's involvement in the Pfizer warrant and all the people that were involved, all the names, the Clapper, the Brennan, the Struck, the Page, everybody that was just part of the evil mess that tried to take Trump out. Didn't work, but they tried. They got caught. Now they're going to get exposed, and the entire world is going to see it on here on the news, whether they're listening to podcasters or on Fox News or even on CNN. This is going to be big breaking news when all this stuff finally does come out and we find out who all the real culprits were, including old nasty Brock and Big Mike. All right, got one last clip here for you today, folks, and I'll let you get back to your busy lives. It says, Trump's declassification, this is Alex Jones information here. It says, Trump's declassification of the illegal Crossfire hurricane operation clears the way for the DOJ to bring massive indictments, and that's right, against the Democrats and the deep state ringleaders. If there was any doubt that Trump was going to make good on his promise to prosecute those responsible for the attempted law enforcement bureaucrat coup, this action certainly has Obama, Comey, Brennan, Schiff all running scared. And the list is a lot longer than those folks. It is, I forgot about Schiff, but there is a massive list of people in a lot of the three-lettered agencies, members of Congress, a lot of the leaders of the Democrat Party, and former leaders of the Democrat Party, all colluded against Trump. No doubt about it, folks. And we're going to get to the bottom of it. It's just a matter of time. It's all coming out. And when it all comes out, then it'll be, how come so-and-so's not indicted? Because now we know that they were part of this, which is definitely a crime. That's what we're getting to, folks. This train is rolling down the tracks, and we're headed towards indictments in a lot of cases in a lot of different directions. It may take longer on some cases, like the Epstein case will take probably the longest, but there's a lot of things that they can do to prosecute the people that have stole the money, stole the election, still taking the money, part of the bureaucracy, part of the whole bribe lobbyist scheme, making money from the cartels. There's so many things that we're going to find out over the next couple of years, including how many criminals really, how many agents became criminals in the name of getting Trump. All this is coming, folks. We're in headhunting season, folks. It's just a matter of time. We're sharpening our blades now, just figuratively, and I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the Gray Bar Motel for a lot of these folks. It will be a fine day when we see the likes of Adam Schiff and so many others go to jail. Praying for these things, folks. Pray with me, and let's get it done. No, you're not supposed to pray for somebody's demise, but I'm praying for retribution and justice. Not revenge, but retribution and justice, and that will be enough, because that will be, hopefully, incarceration. That's what I got for you today, folks.